Hello everyone and welcome to Study IQ English. I am Joy C. Joy. In this video we will be discussing about the RBI, the Reserve Bank of India, which is a central bank of Indian economy. So let's get started. First, coming to the basic details about RBI and the basic introduction about RBI. We know that RBI or Reserve Bank of India is the central bank of Indian economy. Every economy has a central bank for framing the monetary policy for that economy, and in case of India it is a central bank. Now, coming to some of the important functions of RBI. It controls the monetary policy, that is RBI or the central bank is responsible for framing monetary policy in the economy. Framing of monetary policy and concerning the national currency, that is through this monetary policy the circulation of the currency, or we can say that the circulation of money, the money supply is controlled by the RBI through monetary policy. That is money supply is controlled by RBI through monetary policy. It is the monetary authority, that is, it is the senior most institution responsible for framing monetary policy in the country. It is the regulator and the supervisor of the financial system, that is, it is the regulator of the banking system in the country. It is the regulator and the supervisor of the financial system. It is a manager of foreign exchange. It is also the custodian. RBI is the custodian of the forex reserves in the country. Issuer of currency. That is, the currencies are issued by RBI. RBI has been entrusted with the responsibility of issuing currencies. It has a developmental role and oversight of payment and settlement system, and also banker to the government. These are all the functions of RBI. These are the different functions of RBI. The concept of Reserve Bank of India was based on the strategies formulated by Dr. Ambedkar in his book, The Problem of the Rupee, Its Origin and Its Solution. So the concept of having a central bank, or the concept of RBI, Reserve Bank of India, it was based on the strategies formulated by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar in his book. The name of the book is Problems of the Rupee, Its Origin and Its Solution. And it was established based on the suggestions of Hilton Young Commission in 1926. This name is very important, Hilton Young Commission. It was based on the recommendations of Hilton Young Commission in 1926 that RBI was established in 1935 according to the provisions of RBI Act of 1934. So RBI was established on 1st of April 1935 in accordance with the provisions of Reserve Bank of India Act of 1934. Now, if you see this date, April 1st, this is when a financial year begins in India. In India, the financial year begins from 1st of April and ends on 31st of March. Financial year in India begins on 1st of April and ends on 31st of March. This is the cycle. Now let's come to the composition of RBI. Central Board of Directors of RBI was a previous year prelims question which was asked in prelims 2021. So let's see the composition of RBI. The Central Board of Directors have control over RBI functions. So the decision making authority is the Central Board of Directors. Central Board of Directors have control over the functions of RBI. The directors are appointed for a 4-year term by the Government of India. So the term of office of the directors are 4 years. Now the Central Board of RBI consists of governor plus 4 deputy governors plus 4 directors to be nominated by the central government, and these 4 directors from each of the 4 local boards, and 10 directors to be nominated by the central government plus 2 government officials to be nominated by the central government. This is the composition of Central Board of RBI. So here you will see that the central government also has the power and authority to nominate members into the Central Board of RBI. Qualifications, no specific qualification is laid down regarding the members of the Central Board. Removal is done by the central government. The first governor of RBI was Osborne Smith. Sir Osborne Smith, and the first Indian governor, this is very important, C.D. Deshmukh. C.D. Deshmukh was the first Indian governor of RBI, and when it was established in 1935, we had a English governor who was Sir Osborne Smith. The only Prime Minister who was the governor of RBI was Manmohan Singh. He was the former Prime Minister of India. He was also the governor of RBI, and he is the only Prime Minister who was earlier the governor of RBI. Now we are coming to MPC, Monetary Policy Committee. Monetary Policy Committee was created in 2016. Now the purpose of MPC was to frame monetary policy for the country, to create an institutionalized framework for creating or for making monetary policy. Institutionalized framework. To bring transparency and accountability in deciding the monetary policy. To bring transparency and accountability in monetary policy. And this committee will be responsible for determining the policy interest rate required to achieve the inflation target. Now, what is policy interest rate? It is the benchmark interest rate, which is also called as the repo rate. Benchmark interest rate or the repo rate. The governor of RBI acts as the ex officio chairman of the MPC. So, MPC consists of actually 6 members. 3 members are from RBI and 3 from the central government. And the ex officio chairman of the Monetary Policy Committee is the governor of RBI itself. So, committee has 6 members, 3 members from RBI and 3 members from the central government. MPC is required to meet at least 4 times in a year. This is the minimum requirement. At least 4 times in a year. And there should be quorum of at least 4 members. So, there should be at least 4 members present in order to conduct the meeting. Once every 6 months, the RBI is required to publish a document called the Monetary Policy Report. So, it is mandatory that the RBI should publish at least in every 6 months a document called the Monetary Policy Report. Now, these are the methods of credit control in RBI. We have already discussed about this in detail, but because we are discussing about RBI, we will quickly see what are the methods of credit control. RBI uses both quantitative method and qualitative method for controlling the credit. There are conventional methods like repo rate, reverse repo rate, CRR, SLR, marginal standing facility, MSF, reverse repo. All these are conventional methods. There are non-conventional measures also by RBI to control the credit. There are qualitative methods like margin requirement, consumer credit, rationing of credit, direct action, moral suasion and publicity. So these are the measures used by the RBI to control credit. Now, coming to economic capital. What is economic capital? Capital that the RBI requires to hold as a counter against unforeseen risk or events or losses in the future. This is the economic capital, which we also call as the reserves of RBI, central bank reserves. This is the money that the RBI keeps from its profit in order to meet unforeseen situations in the future. Now, Section 7 of the RBI Act of 1935. Section 7 empowers the central government to supersede the RBI board, and this was a question asked in 2021 prelims examination. Section 7 empowers the central government to issue directions to the RBI after consulting the governor as if they are considered to be necessary in the public interest. That is, in the public interest, the central government can issue directions to the RBI. That is Section 7 of RBI Act. Section 45 of the RBI Act, RBI can apply to the central government for suspension of business by a bank. That is Section 45. RBI can ask the government to suspend the activities of a particular bank. It prepares a scheme for such bank's revival. Based upon the recommendations of RBI, the central government can issue a notification. This is Section 45 of the RBI Act. So this is it about the RBI in general. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you all the very best.